Now to this, Spike Lee telling the Hollywood Reporter that Hillary Clinton thought that she was entitled to the presidency and she didn't work for it. In an interview, the director also gave a shout out to the book Shattered. Well, joining us now is the co-author of that book, Jonathan Allen. Jonathan, you're getting a lot of shout outs from everyone these days.
It's definitely pleasing that Spike Lee has read the book. Obviously somebody with tremendous creative talents.
Yeah, and also someone that, you may typically believe would be a staunch Hillary Clinton defender, even after the election. And maybe, because I've seen very few liberals, to be quite frank with you, who've gotten the message from this election. And one of the messages, obviously, is that you've got to hustle and work, and you've got to work for our votes. You just can't get them because you think that you deserve it or it's your turn.
Yeah, and he mentioned, being on Martha's Vineyard, where she has spent a lot of vacation time over the years, courting donors and other friends. In this particular election, and Amy Parnes, my co-author, and I report in our book about how she spent some time at Sag Harbor with Jimmy Buffett and Paul McCartney when she was raising money in August of the election. You can remember Donald Trump sort of making fun of her for not being on the campaign trail when she was out raising money. He was out there talking to voters, and I think that's part and parcel of what Spike Lee was talking about.
There's no doubt. I remember when Donald Trump, in a few days before the election, I think it was Minnesota, he landed, he said, Hillary hasn't come out to see you guys. And I just said to myself, that can't be right. And then you start to, it looks like she just melded in. What were some of the other major revelations in your book that really kind of even surprised you?
Well, I think the big thing was the degree to which the people internally knew that she didn't really have a message and that she was having difficulty expressing to the public that her plans were more about them than about her. And, we go through some of the staff infighting, but really there was a lack of mission on this campaign beyond just winning the presidency, whereas you saw with Bernie Sanders in the primary, people knew what he was about. You may or may not have agreed with it, but you could tell what he was about. Donald Trump, obviously his sort of form of nationalism, his America First message, you knew what he was about. Clinton had real trouble with that. And, of course, a lot of the behind the scenes here on moments where she got frustrated on the campaign trail, where she said she couldn't really understand what was going on with the electorate, and then the big TikTok on election night of what was going on behind the scenes as she was finding out she was losing the presidency that she had been seeking for about 10 years.
Yeah, that one infamous now, I guess, the video with donors, and why am I not 50 points ahead? She really was becoming unhinged right before our very eyes. The fact that she just wasn't being handed to her.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely something she believed going into the stretch, that she should have been doing better against Donald Trump, and she believed on Election Day that she was going to win. One of the things we revealed in the book is that she went over her victory speech with her aides and her husband early in the evening on Election night, never went over that concession speech until much later in the night after she'd actually congratulated Donald Trump. She was not expecting to ever have to give that.
Was there anyone, Jonathan, and who worked closely with her that tried to give her a reality check at all? Or did she more or less surround herself with like young ideologues and sycophants?
She surrounds herself with a lot of people who have difficulty telling her that she's doing something wrong. In fact, we have a scene in the book where she goes off on one of her favorite aides. They're doing a debate prep session, and she's just lost the Michigan primary, and he's correcting her and saying, look, you might want to try this a different way. That's not quite working. And she lashes out at him and says, you know what, why don't you try it? And she makes him, for 30 minutes, play her in the debate prep. This was somebody who didn't like to hear that things were going wrong, and there was a lot of fear, I think, within her organization about the repercussions for telling her that she was doing something wrong, not to mention repercussions for leaking to the press, which is another way that candidates can sometimes hear what they're not hearing from their own aides when they read it in the paper.
Jonathan Allen, the book is Shattered. It's getting reviews from all kinds of folks. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
It's
Good
my
reviews,
pleasure.
by
Thanks
the way.
for having me.
Hey.